Good evening. I'd like to call, welcome. I'd like to call to order the February 9th, 2026 meeting of Oakdale's Environmental Managed Commission. Very glad to see each of you, and for those online, thanks for watching. We will begin this evening with roll call, led by Staff Liaison. Hannah?
Chair Girding.
Present?
Commissioner Brendan.
Present.
Commissioner Yang.
Present.
Commissioner Lash.
Present.
Commissioner Fenstermaker.
Present.
Commissioner Doolittle. Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you, Hannah. And also joining us tonight, Oakdale's community development staff. In addition to Liaison Hannah Dunn, we have Andy Norcom sitting in the back. Sorry. I'm going to get you. We're good. Next up is Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We okay?
We are okay. Thank you. Great. Moving on to next item, we have approval of tonight's meeting agenda for February 9th. I think everybody received a copy in advance. So if there are no further amendments or additions, I'd like to ask for approval of tonight's agenda as presented.
Moved.
Can I get a second? Great. All in favor of tonight's agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Great. Thank you. Next up, moving along, we've got approval of minutes from our November 17th, 2025 meeting of Oakdale ZMC, which we were also provided by in advance. Give everybody a minute to look at that really quickly. We were also sent these prior to the meeting. So assuming no amendments or further discussion, I'll ask for approval of the minutes from the November 17th meeting of EMC.
So moved.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
Second.
Whoa. All in favor of approving November 14th meeting minutes before war starts? Say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Wonderful. Moving right along to the EMC Commission review section. Seeing there is no old business, I believe, if that's correct. Staff Liaison. It is time annually for the election of commissioners. We first begin by taking nomination for candidates for the position of chairperson and vice chairperson positions. As we all recall, nominations do not require a second, but anybody may second just to show support. So, beginning with, go ahead.
I was just going to let you know current Vice Chair Doolittle is not present, and Commissioner Anderson is not present. Both of them could be nominated and voted for.
Do we know that they want to get, that's the thing.
Yep, we had an opportunity to talk with Vice Chair Doolittle, and if nominated, he would be happy to accept the position again of either. Mm-hmm.
I would move Commissioner Doolittle to be the vice chair then, again.
And I would nominate Commissioner Girding, to be the chairperson.
Okay.
Second to both accounts.
Just raise our hand and not do paper. Seems a little silly.
We just have to make a motion to close nominations, and that requires a second, and then a vote.
So assuming there's no other nominations for other position, is there a motion to close?
Yes, I moved, so moved.
Okay. And is there a
I'll second it.
Thank you. Great.
In the past, when we've only gotten one nomination for chairperson and one nomination for vice chairperson, we have not done a written ballot, and we've just voted verbally.
Okay.
Sounds good. Save the planet.
Yeah.
Do our part.
So, moving forward, is there a motion to elect Commissioner Girding for the position of chair for the EMC for a period of 1 year commencing with tonight's meeting?
So moved.
So moved. Second.
All right. And is this, one second, do we do these separately by position, or we can do both nominations together under one? Okay. And then subsequently, the motion to elect Commissioner Doolittle for the position of vice chair of the EMC for this year for a period of 1 year commencing with tonight's meeting.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Great. All in favor? We can show of hands or say aye.
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 Opposed? Great. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate your support.
Thank you for continuing.
Yes.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Okay, moving on to new business. I think we have a overview, high level, if I understand correctly, the triple high level
Yes.
of the 2050, 2050 comprehensive plan.
Yes. Thank you. I've got
Yes.
some slides. So this first item is a very high level overview of the upcoming 2050 comprehensive plan update. This is an introduction to this topic and should help provide a foundation for what's to come. I don't want to get too in the weeds on the process or specific components tonight. However, if you desire to get in the weeds, the Met Council has a whole local planning handbook website that you can deep dive if you're interested. To start, what is a comprehensive plan? It is a plan that defines the vision, goals, and aspirations of a community for the long-term redevelopment and development that is to come for the next 20 years. It is intended to shape land use and transportation patterns, conserve natural features, ID needs for infrastructure, housing, parks, and open space. It's essentially the city's main policy document for land use and infrastructure. Why must we update the plan? The simple answer is that the state law requires that all municipalities within the 7-county metro update their comprehensive plan every 10 years. The Metropolitan Council is the regional planning agency charged with planning and coordinating growth within the 7-county metro area. So state law requires that they create regional plans and policies to guide growth, and then that translates into local communities updating their comprehensive plans. The local comprehensive plans cannot conflict with the Met Council's regional system plans related to various policies such as affordable housing. For this upcoming comp plan process, Imagine 2050 is the Met Council's regional development guide. That's also available online if you want to dig more into it. Besides the legal requirements, updating the comprehensive plan is a best practice so that the community has a vision and framework for future development. The 2050 comprehensive plan process was recently initiated with the Met Council publishing the official system statement for Oakdale. That was just a few months ago, back in the fall. So we're very early in the process right now. There are 8 required plan elements displayed on the screen. Met Council specifies minimum requirements for each. Land use, so land use planning ensures regional investments in sewer, water, roads, parks, and other infrastructure are maximized while supporting growth, livability, and natural resources. Housing, this required plan element allows the city to inventory existing housing, project future needs, and plan for required affordable housing. Transportation, the focus of transportation is aligning local infrastructure with regional systems and to address both vehicle and pedestrian modes of transportation and infrastructure. Water resources, the water resources section focuses on sustainability of wastewater, water supply, and surface water management systems. For parks and trails, the comp plan will support recreational infrastructure and preserve environmental elements. Climate, planning for climate change can reduce risks such as flooding and extreme heat, support adaptation strategies to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and build equitable and resilient region. Natural systems. This chapter will focus on protecting, restoring, and enhancing natural systems while guiding where and how future growth should occur. And the last thing that comp plans must include is an implementation plan. This will outline the process in which the city will achieve the goals of the comp plan. As I said earlier, each of those chapters, there are minimum requirements. I took a screenshot from the Met Council's website of the climate minimum requirements. Overall, Met Council's goal with Imagine 2050 and the subsequent community local comprehensive plans is to weave climate more throughout the entire plan, but also have a chapter that hones in and focuses more on planning for climate change. In past comprehensive plans, the chapter was just called resilience, and they've changed it so it's climate. Meeting the minimum requirements ensures that a comprehensive plan is complete and compliant, but communities can go farther and create plans that are truly transformative. So ways to go above and beyond when it comes to climate in the 2050 comp plan: cities can set greenhouse gas reduction targets, they can prioritize vulnerable populations, they can address the health risks of climate change, or they can integrate hazard mitigation into planning. One thing to note is the city has applied to 2 climate grants from the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency to help support climate planning in the comprehensive plan. If awarded, the grants will help the city to meet and exceed climate minimum requirements. The city's existing 2040 comprehensive plan will be used as the framework and starting point for the 2050 update. We also have a portfolio of existing planning documents to rely on as we update the plan. So on the screen, all of those city planning documents on the left side, these were all completed since 2021. Includes the park system plan, the bike and pedestrian plan, redevelopment studies, small area plans. So we've got quite a wealth of planning that's already happened in the last 5 years that we can rely on. We also have a number of non-city planning efforts that we can utilize, such as the Minnesota Department of Transportation's Highway 120 Century Ave study. The Washington County also has a forthcoming long-range transportation plan and a forthcoming climate action plan. So when those are complete, those can be integrated into our comprehensive plan. In addition to leveraging existing planning documents, the Met Council also has some resources to assist communities with their comprehensive plans. Some of them have not been released yet, but we are told that they are coming. Here is the tentative schedule for the comp plan update. We have until December 31st, 2028 to submit to the Met Council the 2050 comprehensive plan. I'll just walk through some of the big steps over the next few years. I'll note that other city staff in the Community Development Department are leading this effort. I will be involved throughout when needed for climate or environmental pieces. The first task is we will be hiring a consulting firm to assist with the plan development and analysis that goes into it. The RFP has been drafted, and then we should have a consultant selected in the next couple of months. So no one's been hired yet. But after a consultant is hired, they, along with city staff, will work through data analysis, such as transportation modeling and development site inventory. There will be public engagement, both with commissions, advisory bodies, and the public stakeholder groups. Throughout the next 3 years, it'll be a really collaborative process between the city staff and the consultant. The goal is to have the draft plan completed and have the required public hearing held by the end of 2027. Then we need to have affected jurisdictions review the draft plan, and they must be given a full 6 months to review it. So that includes neighboring cities, watersheds. Plans then must be submitted to Met Council by December 31st, 2028. This current schedule on your screen has us submitting the plan mid-2028, just to give ourselves a nice 6-month buffer. With that, I'll open it up to any questions. Again, high-level presentation, just to get things kicked off, since really the whole process initiated not too long ago. But as we get the project started and moving and there's opportunities for engagement, the EMC will be kept in the loop all along.
Thank you for that triple high-level overview. Just a random question, I guess, for the MnDOT, the Highway 120 big study. How much of a pullout does Met Council have in that whole piece? Is there, or what intersections might exist? Pardon the pun.
I know MnDOT is leading it. I know there was a group. I don't know much more than that, but I can ask other city staff members and follow up via email or at the next meeting if that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no real timeline, just curious as we think about broader, like,
Right.
big picture EMC environmental goals and the redevelopment of that main corridor to align with Met Council, if at all possible,
Right.
county-wise, city-wise, would be helpful to know.
Yeah, there's a lot of stakeholders involved in that corridor.
Yeah.
So I know that they've brought everyone to the table. I just don't want to confirm before I.
Any other comments from commissioners? Okay. Thank you again. Moving on to new business number 3. A recycling grant update.
Yes.
Yes.
The memo in the packet provides the EMC with an update regarding the 2025 Washington County Recycling Grant and invites conversation about potential projects for the 2026 application. Overall, 2025 was a successful year with lots of communications going out via social media and the Oakdale update regarding waste, reuse, and recycling. Other grant activities included having the food scraps pickup program at our 2025 Eco Fair, hosting pumpkin recycling drop-off at City Hall, purchasing dual-stream waste bins for Willowbrook Fields and Prairie Trails Park, which are the 2 new parks in the Willowbrook neighborhood. Just a note, Willowbrook Fields is not open to the public yet, but it is in the works. And then hosting the fall citywide collection event. Looking forward, the city will apply for 2026 grant funding to support recycling, reuse, and waste reduction projects. The city usually receives around $50,000 in funds, with roughly 25% or $15,000 going to capital expenses or promotion efforts. In years past, the city typically includes a couple of projects that are geared towards education about recycling and composting. Therefore, 2 potential low-cost projects listed for 2026 are promote residential and commercial recycling through simple high-level education, and promote composting as a means of waste reduction. The other potential 2026 projects are continue to increase recycling access within the Oakdale Park system. And then this year would probably be a year that we start getting into some of the existing parks. We've previously used grant funding for the new parks that have opened, but now we can focus on the existing parks and expanding recycling access. And then some of the grant funding can be used for the cleanup event, though it's important to note that they have restrictions surrounding the use of funds for those events. They want you to use grant funds for disposal costs of items that are either recycled or reused. At this time, I'd like to offer the opportunity for commissioners to discuss 2025 outcomes, as well as potential 2026 projects. It's important to keep in mind that only 4 projects can be included in the application. So where there are, if there's multiple things we want to do, and we can create a project category that encompasses them all, but.
One quick clarifying question before we noodle. If the project from 2025 would be a proposed same one for 2026, but have multiple times it happens, is that considered 1 or 2?
I think 1.
Okay.
Do you have a specific example?
Like the cleanup project?
Correct. Yeah.
It would be 1.
Multiple cleanups. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
they're not too picky about how it all works out,
Cadence, frequency.
but in terms of the actual application platform, I only have 4 places to put projects, so.
Okay. Thank you.
Put an S on event. All set.
Are we already doing a second cleanup? Is that already
We only have one, but I think
scheduled?
we
Or
mentioned
we're doing another one,
based on
right?
the
though?
volumes
In
that
fall?
it-
Currently, only 1 is on the calendar.
Okay.
This potential for a second was brought up at a past EMC
Yeah.
meeting. That would require some clear council direction.
Okay.
It was not budgeted for, so this would probably be looking forward during the next budget conversations. So for 2026 and the recycling grant, will only be 1.
Oh, just, okay.
unless there's a change from council, but I have not been given that direction.
Does this grant cover the full cost of the cleanup?
No, it's just
So it can be used for mattress recycling costs or electronics recycling, but not other things.
Do we know from the fall cleanup specifically what types of items got the most
there were numbers.
interest? I forget what those numbers were.
You had volumes for.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did from the November notes, I think we had.
It was just a lot of everything, though. I mean, just so much. You almost think, again, if you think about somebody's house, you do something in April or May because they spring clean,
Right, and then you do, yep.
and then they're
Do it
not
again in the
headed
fall.
to wherever. Yeah, and then you do another one in the fall when they're going, oh, geez, I have to get everybody in the house. Yeah. Prevent people dropping things off,
Right.
random places.
The numbers are kind of hard because for mattresses, they just give us the number. I suppose we could calculate what an average mattress weight is. So I don't know how many pounds of mattresses we collected. I'm guessing the most we collected is just kind of general trash, just because that encompasses more. We did collect quite a few pounds of electronics, and there was small engines were, again, I don't know the weight of the small engines, but we collected quite a few. So it was kind of all of the items that we collected, people were bringing them.
So prior to that event in September, was the previous event a year before in September?
And I do believe we collected less the second year than we did the first year, probably just because it had been 10 years since we had
Right.
previously had a cleanup event. But it's kind of hard, the trend with only 2 years, knowing what the demand will continue to be.
So we don't have any dual stream recycling bins in Walton Park, correct? I would like to nominate that one potentially, just, I mean, the amount of people that have big parties there at the grounds and all the kids that go to the park. I mean, I feel, my family personally, we go there all the time, so, and there's always people, so I feel like that would be potentially a good spot to propose for the dual stream bins.
Okay.
Just to confirm, we are doing the eco fair, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, promotions, we haven't
great.
put anything out there, but by the end of February, things will be, I have a very brief update about that to come.
Okay. Is there anything new on the food scraps pickup program? Any new, I don't know. Any new areas to promote it in? I don't
Well,
know.
I see their ads on YouTube now, so
Okay.
I mean,
Oh, that's
they're
good.
really reaching out, they're increasing their
Okay,
outreach, so.
okay, good. That's good.
Yeah, their
'Cause I love it.
communications outside of city efforts have really ramped up. They have signage at some of the ice rinks in Washington County.
Cool.
Gas stations have promotional ads,
Oh, wow.
e-billboards.
Good.
We still get any updated communications assets from them and then promote it out. I don't remember the schedule in terms of it opening up to other cities in Washington County and Ramsey County. Laura, I gave an update at the last meeting
Oh, I'm
that.
sorry.
No, it's okay. They're not going to expand it to restaurants.
Oh, they're not,
Just
'cause we
because
talked
the
about
volume
that.
of food waste is too large, though they are considering expanding the program to small offices in the future.
Okay.
So they just don't quite have the capacity and encourage restaurants, if they wanted to compost, to go through a different service. And Biz Recycling is a program through Ramsey, Washington, Recycling and Energy that could help provide some funding to restaurants to get something like that up and going.
Yeah, I still think the restaurants is a good idea.
It's almost too big.
I know. That's, yeah, okay. But small offices, I like that. Yeah, okay.
As a grant theme, like an impact area, we often, maybe I'm mistaken, we often don't hear conversations about things for reuse. And I wonder if there's something in there, not that we do a pop-up event like Washington County's Environmental Center with their reuse room, but is there something that the city gets requested for that we just can't handle that maybe we could pilot with a percentage of funds from this grant? Or just the concept of reuse is interesting. I wanted to elevate it.
There, with the eco fair, we're still pushing forward with having a clothing
Clothing.
swap. I know that that is a popular and in-demand thing, so that could be kind of our dipping the toes into a reuse event.
Good reminder. Okay. Do you know if we get requests other than clothing at the city? It'd be great to be able to have a space to reuse something. I don't know. But
Commissioner Anderson brought up sports equipment at the last meeting. I think for this first eco fair clothing swap, we're probably just going to keep it to clothing and shoes to not get too.
We could see how it goes and what we need to do to manage it, and then expand maybe.
But I know other cities do sports equipment swaps. They do puzzle game swaps. They do craft supply swaps.
But the library does puzzle swaps.
yeah.
Yeah, and Washington County has done. They recently had a winter clothing swap.
And there may not be right now. I'm just thinking, like, what's unique to Oakdale that would lend itself to a reuse situation?
Just a different question. For the eco fair, did the reuse room come to our eco fair? See, my theory is this. I discovered them years ago by accident, sort of. If you asked a random person in Oakdale, like, what would you do, blah, blah, would they even know we have such a thing?
No.
Again, it's
Don't
people
know.
understanding what the options are. I think that's the biggest issue. And then they have to decide, well, do I want to drive all the way down there? That's a different, depending where they live, different issue. But if they don't even know, like they can go and get all the herbicides and pesticides and all the paint and varnish or whatever they could possibly need for free, or take all their old stuff. I mean, that's that's the biggest problem, I think, is just awareness. So at a minimum, we need to get them.
At the food scraps pickup program, she was technically representing Washington County and the food scraps pickup program, or food scraps pickup program. She had materials on things like the disposal directory. It just probably got lost.
Oh, no, they need that's a huge resource. I mean, that would be my thought, everybody walking up there, she had her big containers. The focus was obviously, let's recycle food scraps. It was not clear that there was also.
I can try asking again. Last year I had requested both and got one. So I can see if maybe they have capacity to have just a food scraps pickup program table and one that's a little bit more.
We're requesting that they both show. Well, I mean, we want to get more business for the reuse area. I mean, more in, more out, and I think that'd be important. I mean, when people see that place, I think their eyes, they just can't quite believe
Right.
the amount of things that are there. It's amazing. So.
Yeah.
We can call and ask him if he wants to.
Any other thoughts or comments for 2026 application?
So sorry. So it seems like, I guess, we're going to probably try to keep, or we're keeping them all the same, does it seem like? I mean, I like all of them.
When I did the 2025 reporting, I reported on the eco fair in Project 1, the just educate. I could maybe change Project 4 to events and have eco fair clothing swap and collection event under that. It'll all work together, so they don't really get too bogged down in that. So, and then based on the work plan discussion about the rain barrels, though, so was that something,
I like that.
or
I mean, that's something concrete. I don't know how would we gauge interest in something like that in the just general public. I don't know. I mean, because the energy audit. I don't know that that's been as popular as we would have hoped necessarily for people using those funds. So I don't know if there's a way to figure out how much the rain barrel idea would be interesting for folks.
So maybe for this next application, that's not, we could just put explore or something like that, and we're not committing to anything in
I just wouldn't want to
2026.
not do something else that we know is important to do something we're not sure how important. I don't know how to get that info, but we can work on that.
And is the rain barrel thing part of this grant
Oh, I had asked
discussion, though?
I had asked the question if it could be when we start talking about rain barrels.
Oh,
I asked if that could be a
don't-
part of this to
yeah.
reduce the cost even more.
I don't know if it's eligible.
doesn't seem like it's a,
They might be a stretch. That,
Okay, well,
I don't know.
okay.
The one thing with rain collection, I'm not against rain barrels, but is there anything against the collection of water? Because a lot of times people do depend for that to run, and sometimes there are restrictions against collecting water because they're like the water needs to run to get to the wetlands, right? And if you're collecting water, it stops that. Is there anything against that?
It's usually off your roof. It's
Yeah.
from God, so you
Right.
can have it. Anything else, you're right, though. Some
Right.
cities do prevent, like damming up or changing the direction of water flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would need to dig more into our code and see what engineering has to say about specifics with that.
Yeah, I just want to know what Oakdale has in
yeah.
place for that, because then, like you said, yes, I know collection off the roof is okay, but like, we just want to make sure.
Well, but but the reason I'm saying that is that's
Right.
that's what you do as a rain barrel for. Any other thing you do is where you're messing
Right.
with Mother Nature, yeah.
Right. Yeah, and that's just my concern.
Yeah,
right?
well, no.
okay. Does that liaison give you enough
Yes.
intel?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that. Moving on to our last item of new business, our EMC communication strategy for this year.
Yes. At the beginning of each year, the EMC discusses the environmental communication strategy plan and develops an editorial calendar. It is a flexible strategy that can be changed if more relevant and timely environmental content comes up. In your packet, I included the 2025 editorial calendar. Many of the themes and months can be repeated in 2026. However, we can also veer and mix things up if desired. At the beginning of 2025, we weren't able to put out as much on social media due to some staff leave. So we'll need to address, I guess January's already gone, but we still have opportunity in February. I'll just open it up for conversation about 2026. Do commissioners have ideas for completely new themes? Are there resources that commissioners have come across that can be added?
So a process question. So for March, it's food scraps. It says communications, content, et cetera, et cetera. How many times does communication go out on food scraps in March, for instance? What would you think?
The goal would be one. It kind of depends what other things we have to promote on social media, other events, other news updates.
Yeah, but do you have a limit then as to how many events per day or per week you send out?
I would have to ask communications what their preference is, but in terms of the theme, we probably have 1 to 2 posts a month, but probably just one.
Because I'd be curious what their sort of thought is on how often things can go out, why there'd be a limit and what the limit would be. Because my vote is once you have it, wouldn't you post something like every week?
It just depends on availability to make sure other items are getting eyes. Sometimes if you post too much in a day, things just get lost. So
I'm wondering how many different things are.
I don't know what communications guidelines are, but I can check.
Because again, it'd be nice if we had the reuse center. You could post that once a month and just hammer.
Hammer it.
Like Thursday maybe before people clean, and then the Saturday comes and they can top it all off. just, I mean, repetition, the woman will know, the communications person will
yes,
know that's
repetition.
about over and over and over. So hitting somebody once and then moving to bikes or whatever the next month
7 to 10 times.
is not going to get you there.
Right, I mean, for a topic area, I do know that Washington County also has some great content about the reuse center specifically. So it's also finding a healthy balance between what is specific to Oakdale, knowing that communications, I think, probably also shares stuff from county, and then what specifically topical, editorial-wise, thematically, is specifically stuff that we want to elevate, which gets to your, I think, strategy of the 1 to 2 per month.
Yes.
Knowing that everything else is quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the very end, it said ongoing content throughout the year, promotion of the food scraps pickup program, general sustainability, home energy squad rebates. Those are all things that, we're not only going to promote the food scraps pickup program in April, or in March. It just might be a bigger focus in March.
Well, also, you might want to say for September, if that's when we're going to do the trash again.
Right, that one's always been kind of
Well, again, it's the
separate, but,
it's EVs again. Oh, I'm just saying, but it says in September, so I don't
Right.
know if you want to mention that that's going to be. I think your schedule's jam-packed if you only get one shot a month.
yeah.
So
Yeah, unless
that
there's
puts
like,
it into a whole different perspective. I used
does.
to read this list and go, wow, this is great, but then if you allowed one message, it's very constraining. So.
yeah. And you're welcome as you're on social media and you're seeing certain content, certain ideas, certain dates, like, oh, this date is National whatever day. Feel free to just send it my way and then we can keep track of that or come up with new ideas as well, because we're always looking for new content to promote.
May not have a specific idea, but always thank you for letting us have our eyes and minds into this and partnering with you all in communications. One of the things that just strikes me about this right now, and it could be the fact that I had coffee at 6 p.m., is a lot of this is geared towards residents. And there's not a lot that's geared towards businesses. And so I'm wondering, maybe these 1 to 2 things a month, we could have a both and. Like there's the topic and one part could hit the resident population and then, or 2/3, 1/3. I'm not sure what our viewership is or our share followers, the demographics of our followers on social is, but is there a way to include and be inclusive of our business community as well? Because I think that's a story that is missing from a lot of these things. So just as an observation.
Yeah, and that's reaching businesses and having a one-pager for businesses is something that I kind of have a bit of a goal. And when we're doing business retention, expansion, attraction visits, that something is a resource that's available to them. So yes, I think that's something we could improve. So that's a very good idea.
Yeah. Any other comments, suggestions, questions for editorial calendar? No. Great. Thank you again. Next up, I think we move to staff, commissioner, and council liaison updates.
Yes. I just have a couple general updates for this evening. One item that I wanted to float by the EMC was not printing EMC packets anymore, unless requested. We would still need to print and have a public copy available at the back of the meeting room, but if you are amenable to bringing laptops or tablets, and you're welcome to do that. So if you prefer a printed copy, you can let me know, and I'm happy to continue providing those. But if we as an EMC want to reduce some paper waste, I talked to our city clerk, and there's no requirement to have them printed. We just have to have the one public copy. So if you're okay with that, then I think that's maybe something we implement in 26.
Yes.
Great. Support it. Thank you.
Wonderful. My other update is planning for the eco fair is going well. Some vendors have been emailed. We're still waiting for commitments. It's kind of in the time period that they can still commit. So I don't have a final list to share. I also met with the Recreation Department to start discussing family-friendly activities. So next month when we meet, I'm hoping to have a memo that kind of lays out much more of the details.
Are we at the same place as last
Same
year?
place, same time, same Saturday of the month.
Okay.
The trees will be across the street still.
Same food truck?
No, I was thinking of, well, I don't know yet. Food truck is still TBD.
Okay.
We kind of talked about it last time about maybe with it being a bit of an early morning, something that's a little bit more bakery or so exploring options. So if you know of any food trucks that are either licensed in Oakdale or would like to, willing to get licensed in
Mini
Oakdale.
donuts and ice cream cones, both.
Kids would like
Crumb
that.
cookies. Kids would like that.
Yeah.
Mine would.
I would too.
Yeah, something just a little bit smaller because,
The handheld, right?
yeah.
Yep.
So
Little walk and nosh.
exactly. That's all I have.
Great. Any updates from commissioners?
Oh, we need the schedule for the drains again to be
Yes.
reminded if you,
Next meeting, because
thank you. Okay, I just,
I
whenever
think
it is.
typically this is kind of the off
I'm
time.
assuming there's
So
something happening in the bylaws.
next month, we can discuss that. And then I'm really hoping in 26, pictures or just any sort of metrics would be kind of fun to share. Or just maybe at each meeting, if you had the previous month or that current month and you've done a cleanup, feel free to share.
Great reminder. Thank you. My only update is this is the first winter season that my household has not bought or used salt. Full disclosure ever. Yes. Feels great.
You're a grit family
Feels
now.
real great. We've gone grit and have kind of laxed on the shoveling on the sides. And you know what? It's okay.
What are
all
you
right.
using?
Grit.
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 Okay.
Okay, do you want to repeat, she was not at the last meeting, what they told us about the grit? or whatever,
Golly,
can't
am I
remember
going to
who
have to
brought it
repeat
up.
this?
You can
Yes.
only, you can only get a bag or whatever, there's a limit.
What is it,
Where
Laura?
do we get it at?
Well, it depends where you can buy it at like Menards or Home Depot, but if you live in one of the certain watersheds, you can get it for free. But I'm not sure which watershed it is. I don't live in it, so I wasn't able to get it. But basically, grit is just for traction, and you can reuse it. So instead of melting the ice, it just sits on the ice, but it provides that similar traction, and you can scoop it up and reuse it over and over again. So it doesn't do any harm to the environment.
It's a great activity for my kids.
Yeah.
Their little shovels, just throwing it.
Yeah, the goal is reduce chloride pollution. When we're
Yeah.
using chloride deicers, it takes 1 teaspoon of salt to permanently pollute 5 gallons of water.
It's in
We
the
can send
notes,
out the,
watershed
Yes.
we can send it out again,
came out.
too.
I believe I know what watershed you're in, and
Okay.
I will send you some info tomorrow.
Okay, that would be awesome.
That's where it came up, that was in the discussion about the watershed, the two women that came to talk to us.
Grit. Cool.
Great.
The word of the day.
Yeah. Grit.
Well, moving into the last update section of our meeting, we'd like to invite EMC's City Council Liaison, Mayor Zabel, to share. The floor is yours, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, everybody. It's nice to be with you again. So it's the South Washington Watershed District has chicken grit. You can get it at the Environmental Center. Just look it up, yeah. I would assume, though, pretty much any county resident could probably go there and get some. I think they had posted about it. So you can get 25 pounds, a 25-pound bag. So that should last a while. But as for the city council, new year. So as we do at the start of every year, it's kind of our organizing activities. So pleased to share that I'll be staying on as your liaison with this commission. So I look forward to working with you all throughout 2026. Otherwise, the biggest project on our plate lately has been the City Hall Police Department expansion project. That'll be kicking off this summer. So as voters probably know, a local sales tax was approved for expanding the police department. As part of that project, we're also going to be renovating City Hall. Some parts of this building were built in 1979, so about 50 years. It's about time. So we're taking a holistic look at the space needs for our community as well as our city staff to continue providing the outstanding service that they do every single day. Tackling a number of security upgrades within the building, environmental efficiencies, energy efficiencies, all of those good things that come with a big capital construction project. But that will mean that we need to vacate for about 18 months. We are moving all city staff out. We don't want... There are benefits to having everybody out of the building for construction. Early plans called for a staggered approach, and council felt strongly that none of our employees should have to work in a construction zone. So we're figuring out Plan B, which will allow us to speed up the timeline, which is kind of nice. So, and there are cost savings associated with that. I think we're saving about $500,000 by having everybody out of the building and letting construction crews go wild with it. So there will be some impacts on Walton Park. We're trying to minimize that as much as we can. We are moving the public entrance to 15th Street, creating a new public plaza out here on the southwest corner of the building. The public entrance and the parking lot on the existing building will become secured parking for our city staff. We're very, very excited about that. We don't like having to need to have secured parking for our staff, but in the world that we're in, we want to make sure our staff are safe. So more to come on that. You can always check out the city website for anybody that wants more information. But I am sure the commission will be involved in that project as well as soon as we get details about where future EMC meetings will be held, probably Discovery Center. We'll make sure to communicate that out with everybody. Public Works facility, almost done. Oh, finally. It's been a long journey. Hit some weather last summer, which delayed it a little bit, but we should be wrapping that up, if not this month, early in March. We are planning a public grand opening, I believe, in May. The reason we're waiting is public works crews aren't going to move until winter snow operations are done. So we don't want to have to displace them while they're tasked with keeping our streets and trails and sidewalks nice and clear. So we're going to wait to move them in. But that also has been a long journey. So we're excited to have that done. And then the other big infrastructure project going on is our street reconstruction, the project that we do every single year. Still focusing in the southern end of our community, Greenway from, I believe, 7th Street to down to I-94, Hudson Boulevard, is being redone with a 7-foot boulevard trail being added to that. That came out of our bike and pedestrian plan that this commission also worked on, identifying a huge gap in our trail network in our city. So we're excited to get that added, as well as some resurfacing of adjacent streets as well. Finally, the City Council has greenlit plans for 3 playground replacements in Oakdale, Tanner's Lake Park, Gulfview, and Tower. A couple of them will probably be happening in 2026. Tanner's is a bigger project, so that's going to take a little bit longer, so look for that to be open in 2027. But we're excited to kind of see the fruits of the labor involved with the park system plan update really start rolling out. So Tanner's Lake Park, especially that playground, should have been replaced a while ago. So we're excited to get that done. It's going to include a kind of a nature-oriented design, which we're pretty excited about. But more to come on that, including engagement opportunities for residents in those neighborhoods to help shape what those playground amenities look like. So more to come on that. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions. We got a lot going on. Nothing?
For the park, playground park question. So as the Willowbrook one was developed, I know that we have a really great, not first ever, but an awesome park that's accessible.
Yeah.
for people of all, kids of all abilities. Was that done with feedback, or was that just something that Oakdale said, we're just going to do this?
Yes and yes.
And is that a same theme that's being taken into these other parks?
Yes. So Oakdale has been very clear that accessibility has to be a primary objective of all of our park amenities. You know, before we did Willowbrook Commons, we hadn't built a new park in Oakdale in about 20 years. So just the options to increase accessibility in playground equipment have evolved so much. And so as we went through that park design process, we just saw a lot of new things that people didn't think about 20 years ago when they were putting in playgrounds. Whether it's, you know, the molded play surface instead of wood chips or sand, which is a huge accessibility issue. Playground amenities where a child in a wheelchair could just roll into the amenity. Really cool advancements. I was at a conference of the National League of Cities in November, spoke with a couple of the playground equipment producers. They have even more stuff now, which is pretty cool. So we'll be looking at that as well. Willowbrook, three parks total. Willowbrook Commons, obviously the one that most residents are familiar with. Prairie Trails Park is kind of a passive, just walking area. That park is complete now. And then the athletic amenity field, which is named Willowbrook Fields, will be opening this spring. Things got put in last fall, but we're excited to open that up. So that includes a soccer field, pickleball, and a turf volleyball. Our first turf volleyball court in the city of Oakdale is at Willowbrook Fields, which is pretty cool. So yes, lot of improvements happening to our playgrounds in Oakdale.
Cool.
Any other questions? All righty. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that brings us to the end of the agenda and meeting for tonight. Our next meeting of the EMC will be held on March 16th at 7 p.m. in the Hadley Conference Room, assuming no construction yet. If there's no further discussion, I'd like to call for a motion to adjourn tonight's February 9th meeting of Oakdale's EMC.
So moved.
Second.
Great. All in favor of adjournment of tonight's meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Great. Meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Mhm.